for one reason or another, they were cut out of the sale. See, I think they've got on the front sheet of your paper should be a supplement that has the bulls that's out of the sale. Looks like there's about 6 of them, or 7, 8, something like that, that didn't make the trip. I do have a change on lot number 61. The date of birth on lot 61 is actually May the 31st of 24. That's on your lot 61 bull. We'll try to catch that when we get to it. We're a little bit early. Now we 6 or 8 minutes early. But I thought we'd just kind of get together here and visit just a minute. But before we do, I'd like to go to the Lord in prayer. I'd love for you to join me, if you will. Dear Lord, we come today. We come today so grateful for your kindness, Lord. You just never cease to amaze us, Lord. Lord, we come as livestock producers, cattlemen, Lord, and we've really enjoyed the good prices we've been getting for our cattle, Lord, and we just thank you for helping us to get the right people in office, and hope that you help to get the others in line and lined up for us, Lord. Lord, we thank you that we are able to come and join and be together and talk as friends and neighbors, and to have a word of prayer with you in open, Lord. In your name we do pray. Amen. I hope everybody was able to get a steak dinner before we got started. We thank the consigners. They're the ones paid for the steak dinner. Thank you, guys. Those were good steaks. We appreciate it. We will get started here in just a minute. Of course, the cattle will come to you right by the head. That's the way you buy the cattle. They will, there's a supplement sheet also here that's in your front of your book, or should have been, that'll tell you what kind of order they'll come in, even though it won't be identical to that order. They'll bring them up to the hopper there with 3 or 4 bulls in the pen, and they'll just let the first one come, and we'll call that lot number and give you just a minute to look at the EPDs, and then we'll try to sell the bull. We will not be dragging the sale out. We will sell the bulls. By that I mean I'm not going to beg all day to get them sold. You guys know what you want to pay for the bulls. I know that when you bring me cash, you want me to get every dime that I can for them. So you guys help me help my sellers out today. They've got a lot of money in these bulls. They've got good genetics. Somewhere here, of course, Tommy. Let me let Tommy come up and talk, and if I'll fill in if he misses something that I think about. You don't have to put it on if you don't want to. You put it if you want to.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Not really.
Not really? Can you hear me? All right. Well, I'd like to welcome all of you here. It's good to see a good crowd. I really appreciate the buyers coming out and all the support that we've had. This is number 18th sale that we've had here. I'd really like to thank the Clemens and the Clemens family and the livestock marketing crew that's been very helpful for us for the last 18 years. I would like to think that us being here for 18 years kind of speak a little bit by themselves. Because I really believe that Mr. Jeff would have run us off if we hadn't brought some pretty good cattle here. A couple of things I want to mention. Of course, our consigners, I'd like to recognize them. I'm sure that y'all, most of you know John and Gretchen Ward, and they've been with us since we started this sale. Eddie Roberts is here, and he's been here for most of the sale as well. we've got 4 new consigners that come in here to help round these cows out, these bulls out. We've got Doug and Betsy Munch. They right over here. We appreciate them coming. We got, let me see who else. I'll be done forgot somebody. We got Kevin and Melina Lyons. They got right over here. They down in Williston got a real nice operation there. We got Dale and Kathy Hayes with their son Hunter. And we got a good friend of mine, Matt Bailey. He's right here. I'm hoping that he in the near future he'll try to buy a good many of my cows. I'm getting to be kind of old and I'm want to kind of slow down. But I'll still be involved with this sale in some kind of way. Hopefully, if Mr. Clemens and them will help put up with us. The only other thing I want to say, and I'd like to introduce and recognize Dusty Hawley from the Florida Cattlemen's Association. He's the executive vice president. I think that's your title. And I'm going to ask Dusty if he's got any things to say and let him talk, and then I'll shut up.
I just want to say real quick, always good to be in Okeechobee and hear at one of these bull sales from some of our supporters of the industry and the association. I wanted to bring up two things. One, if your dues aren't current, get them paid, because the November issue will have all the stuff for the convention registration. I know convention's way out in June, but we get it out there early. So Allied for the trade show sponsors and registrations for everybody. The rooms open up. The room reservations open November 3rd. So we'll send that list out in the next week or so to the folks who ship the magazine. So if your dues aren't current, check on them and get them paid so you can get all that stuff about convention. The second thing is, when you're making your bull buying budgets this year, always think about this, and it's been a rule of thumb economically for years and years and years. And this is if you're buying them private treaty, if you're buying them auction from some of these good supporters like Little Creek or others that have sales here at Okeechobee or across the country. These bulls ought to be economically worth to you the price, average price of 3 fat steers or 5 weaned calves. That's the economic price that's out there that folks think about as they move forward. So that's why you're seeing the strong bull buying, selling market. Why, and these calves are bringing so much for our natural cycle. But just when you're here and you're thinking about what can I raise my hand for, that's what economics has told us for many years. You can generally make your money back if you pay what 3 fat steers are worth or 5 weaned calves. That's kind of a rule of thumb. So be thinking about that. And not just at this sale. Sorry, Tommy. I work for about 4,500 members. Not just this sale, but where you're buying bulls all year in the fall or private treating them. Keep that in mind. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dusty. We appreciate what you do. All right. For you guys that come and sell cattle with us each and every Monday, God bless you. We appreciate it. We couldn't do it without you. We thank you for having confidence in us to let us sell your calves for you. All right. If it's time, I don't want to start a minute early because there may be somebody riding. But we ride on time. Lot 17. Now, Tommy told you early that he was kind of selling some of his cows. And this was one of his herd sires that he bred last year. Tommy said he really had some good calves. He just did not need him. He is a 4-year-old? 3-year-old? All right. So we'll start with him right here. Don't let me know if you get, I'm sorry, Tommy. All right, sell a bull. All right, here, everybody, $8,000, and go, $8,000, believe $8,000, $8,000, believe $8,000, $8,000, believe $8,000, $8,000, believe $8,000, $6,000, $6,000, believe $6,000, now 5, $6,000, $6,500, $6,000, 65, now 7,000, 65, 6,500, 7,000. $7,000, believe 67 high, 65, 7 high, $7,000, Here's $7,000, everybody is 7,000. 67 high, 7,000. 772 and a half, 72 and a half, 7,000, 2 and a half, now 5, 7,500, $75, 7,500, $7,500, now 77 high, 77 high, and a pretty high, and a pretty high, 75, 7 high, 77 high, and a pretty high, and a pretty high, 75, 7 high, 77 high, and a pretty high, and a pretty high. We got 75, 77 high. Are you there? You done? 75, 77 and a half. Sold the bull, 7,500. MTS. We'll be going to lot number 30, looks like. All right, another bull, another one of those bulls that Tommy's really high on right here, boys. There's a good, long, stretchy kind of bull. And pretty good, 7,500. $7,500, $6,000. Get into him now, 2.5. $6,000, 6,000. $6,000, 6,000. $6,000, 6,000. $6,000, 6,000. $6,000, 5,500. 5,500 now, 55, 57 high. 55, 7 high, 57 high, and pretty high, and pretty high. 55, 7 high. 5,500, 57 high, 55, 7 high, $6,000, now 2.5. You're out, 62 and a half, 6,000, 2.5. I took you at 6,000. We good? 6,000, 2.5, 62 high, 5, 6,500. We out, 6,500, 62 and a half, 5, 7 high, 67 high, and pretty high, and pretty high. 65, 7 high, 67 high, and pretty high, and pretty high. 6,500. 67 high and pretty high and pretty high. 65 and 7 high. Sold the bull, 6,500. Bickett with a B. Lot 7, I believe so. Lot number 7. And right here we go. And sell the bull. Is this Gretchen's bull? Okay. All right here. Sell the bull here. 7,500. 7,500. 7,500. 7,500. 7,500. 75. 7,500. $6,000. $6,000, $6,000. $6,000, $6,000. $6,000, $6,000. $6,000, $6,000. $6,000, 5,500. 57 high. 5,500, we gone. 57 high. 55, 7 high, and pretty high, and pretty high. 5,500. 57 high. 57 high, and pretty high, and pretty high. 55, 7 high. 57 high and pretty high and pretty high. I got 5,500, 57 high. 57 high and pretty high and pretty high. What do you think? 57 high, are you done? 5,500, 57 high, now $6,000. 57 high, 6,000. Give me $6,000, pretty easy, pretty easy. 57 high, now 6,000. $6,000, pretty easy, pretty easy, 6,000. Sold the bull, 57.50. George Allen. George Allen. I didn't think you'd change your name, George. Lot number 4. And right here, right on, boys. And lot number 4. If I do get in a hurry, just let me know that you need a little more time to look at your catalog. And ready, thank you. And right here, everybody is $7,000. Here's $7,000. Everybody is $7,000. $7,000. Everybody is $7,000. $7,000. Everybody is $6,000. Give me $6,000. Everybody is $6,000. $6,000. Everybody is now 2.5. I got $6,000. 62 and a half. 6,000, 2.5, everybody high. 6,000, 2.5. 62 and a half, everybody high. 6,000, 2.5. 62 and a half, everybody high. 6,000, 2.5. 62 and a half, everybody high. 6,000, now 2.5. 62 and a half, everybody high. 6,000, 2.5. Sold the bull, 6,000. Dixie Ranch. Lot 47's where we're going. Lot 47. And right here, $7,500, $7,500, $6,000. Get right on, boy. 6,000, 2.5, 6,000, 2.5, 6,000, 60, 2.5, 60, 2.5, 6,000, 2.5, 60, 2.5, 6,000, 2.5, 60, 2.5, 6,000, 2.5. 60 to and high, has the time 5, $6,500, 60 to and high 5, $6,500, 60 to and high 5, $6,500, 60 to and high now 5, say you both 62.50, Dixie right on. Yes, sir. Lot number 50. You bet, boys, you guys brought us some good ones. Lot number 50. And $7,000. Here's $7,000. $7,000. Well, that's $6,000 hook and go. $6,000. Here's $6,000. 6,000. $6,000 6,000. $6,000 6,000. 6,000 two and a half. I got 6,000 two and a half. 60 two and a half. 6,000 two and a half. 60 two and a half. 6,000 two and a half. 6,000 two and a half. 6,000 two and a half. 60 two and a half. 6,000 and two and a half. Sold the bull $6,000. CAF. $717 the green tag, but 57. 57, that's going to be our lot number. 57. All right, here we go. $6,500. $6,500. $6,000 on the bill to go. 6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. 5,500. 5,500 now. 57 high. 55 7 high. 57 high. 55 7 high. 57 high, pretty high, 55 7 high, 57 high, pretty high, I got 55 7 high, 57 high, pretty high, 55 7 high, 57 high, pretty high, 5,500, 57 high, 55 7 high, sold the bull 5,500, Dixie Ranch. 58. 5-8 will be the next one. 58's my next bull. And I'm pretty good, 6,500. $6,500, $6,500, $6,000. $6,000, $6,000, $6,000, $6,000, $6,000, what do you want to give? 5,500, $5,500, $5,500, $5,500, $5,500, 55. 55, 57 high. I got 5,500, 57 high, and pretty high, 55, 7 high. 57 high, and pretty high, 55, 7 high. 57 high, and pretty high, 55, 7 high, and pretty high. Sold the bull, 5,500. Aaron's Ranch. Aaron. 61. And, oh yes, this is the bull with the date change. May the 31st is actually date of birth of 24. All right, here, sell him. Everybody is $7,000. Is $7,000. Everybody is $7,000. $7,000. Everybody is $7,000. $7,000. Everybody is $6,000. $6,000. Everybody is $6,000. $6,000. Everybody is $6,000. $6,000. Everybody is $5,500. $5,500. 57 high. I got 55, 57 high. Everybody high. 55, 7 high. 57 high, 6,000. $6,000. I got 57 high now, 6,000. $6,000. 57 high, 6,000. $6,000. 57 high now, $6,000. $6,000. Anybody want to give 6,000? 57 high, want to give 6,000? Sold a bull, 5750. Lee. Dennis Lee. 63 will be my next bull. And sell a bull right here. $7,000. $7,000. $7,000. $7,000. Give me 6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $5,500. $5,500. 55. 5,500 now, 57 high. I got 55, 57 high. 55, 7 high, everybody high, everybody high. 5,500, 57 high. 55, 7 high, everybody high, everybody high. 55, 7 high. 57 high, everybody high, everybody high. 55, 7 high. 57 high, everybody high, everybody high. 55, 7 high. 55, 57 high. Sell your way, 5,500. $39. All right, lot number 39 right here. And everybody will sell him. Everybody is $7,000. Is $7,000. Everybody is $7,000. $7,000. Everybody is $6,000. And $6,000. Everybody is $6,000. $6,000. Everybody is $6,000. $6,000. Everybody is 55. 5,500. Get in now. 5,500. Everybody 5,500. $5,500. 55, 57 high. I got 5,500, 57 high, $6,000. And $6,000. Not too high. 6,000 to and high, now 5. $6,500. What do you have? 62 and a high, 5. $6,500. I got 62 and a half on the left side. 65, 62 and a half, 5. Sell the bull, 62.50. M4. Lot number 40. And everybody is $6,000. And $6,000. Everybody is $6,000. $6,000. 5,500. 5,500. Everybody 55, 57 high. I got 5,500. 57 high. 55, 7 high. Everybody high. 55, 7 high. 57 high. Everybody high. 55, 7 high. 5,500, 57 high, everybody high, 55, 7 high, $5,500 bill now, 7 high, everybody high, 55, 7 high, 57 high, everybody high, 55, 7 high, sold the bull, 5,500. $5,353 $53 will be my bull. All right, here we go. Everybody is $7,000. Here's $7. Everybody is $6,000. $6,000 now, 2.5. I got 6,000, 2.5. 60, 2.5. Everybody high. 6,025. 6,500. Everybody 5. Got 62.5. 5. 6,500. Everybody 5. 62.5. 5. 6,500. Everybody 5. 65. 62.5. 5. 7 high. 65, 7 high, everybody high, 65, 7 high, 67 high, everybody high, 6,500, 67 high, everybody high, 65 and 7 high, everybody high, 67 high. Sold the bull, 6,500. George Allen. Is it 76 or 16? 16. Lot 16 will be my next bull. And I'm pretty good, 6,500. $6,500 pretty 65, 55. Get it right to him, 57 high. 55, 7 high, pretty 57 high, now 6,000, now 2 and a half. 6, 2 and a half, pretty high, 6,000, 2 and a half. I'm with you, I think, 6,000, 2 and a half, now 5, 65, 67 high, 67 high, $7,000, $7,000, pretty 7, 7,000. 67 high, $7,000, $7,000 now, 2 and a half, 7,000, 2 and a half, 7,000, 72 and a half, pretty high, 7,000 now, 2 and a half, 7,000, 2 and a half, pretty high, 7,000, 72 and a half. I got 7,000, who be 72 and a half? Sold the bull, $7,000. MTS. Lot 20. And I'm pretty good, $6,000. Yeah, $6,000, pretty 6,000. $6,000, pretty 5,500. 1,007 high, 55, 57 high, pretty high, 55, 7 high. 55, 57 high, pretty high, 55, 7 high. 57 high, pretty high. I got 55, 57 high. 55, 7 high, pretty high, 5,500. 57 high, pretty high, 55, 7 high. Boy, you through? Are you done? 55, 57 high, pretty high. Sold him 5,500. Weekly Brothers. Bull 21. There's a big old stretchy bull. 21 will be your bull. I like him. And sell him to you. And I'm pretty good, $7,500. $7,500, pretty 75. $7,500, pretty 75. $6,000. And 2 and a half. I got 6,000, 62 and a half, pretty high, 6,000, 2 and a half, 62 and a half, pretty high, 6,000, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 6,000, 2 and a half, pretty high. I got 6, 2 high, 5, $6,500, pretty bad. I got 6, 2 and a half, 6,500. $6,500, pretty 62 and a half, $6,500, pretty 62 and a half, pretty 62 and a half, 5. Sell the bull, 62.50. Mosquito. $23 will be the bull. And I'm pretty good, $6,500 and $6,500, pretty 6,500, pretty 55. 5,500, 57 high. I got 55, 7 high, $6,000 and 2 and a half, 62 and a half, pretty 5, 65, pretty 62 and a half, 5. Now 7 high, 67 high, pretty 65, 7 high, 67 high, pretty 65. Want to give 67 and a half. Sold the bull, 6,500. M4. I'm glad we did. It's about a team effort. 28 will be the bull. And I'm pretty sell him. He's pretty $6,000 and $6,000, pretty 6,000. $6,000, pretty 6,000. $6,000, pretty 5,500. 5,555, 57 high. 5,500, 57 high, pretty high. 57 high. 57 high, pretty high, 57 high, 5,500, 57 high, pretty high. I got 5,500, 57 high, 55, 7 high, pretty high, 5,500, 57 high, 55 and 7 high, pretty high, pretty high, pretty high. Sold him 5,500. Weekly, brothers, weekly. 34 will be my bull. 34 will be the bull. And $6,000. And $6,000 biddy is either biddy $6,000. $6,000 biddy is either biddy is either biddy is either biddy 5,500. 55, $5,500 biddy 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 55. $5,500 biddy 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 5,500. $5,500 biddy 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 5,500. $5,500 biddy 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 my mercy. $5,000. 5,000, now 2.5. I got $5,000, 2.5, 52.5, 5,000, 2.5, 5,000, 52.5, pretty high, pretty high, 5,000, now 2.5, 52.5, pretty high, pretty high, 5,000, 2.5, 52.5, pretty high, pretty high, 5,000, 2.5, 52.5, now 5, 5,500, I got 52.5, 5, 55, pretty bad, pretty bad. 52.5, 5, 52.5 and 5, selling 52.50. Green Glades cattle. Lot 1. Boy, there's a big old stout boy. You're right. And sell him here to $7,500. $7,500 believe $7,500. $7,500 believe $7,500. $6,000 and 2.5. $6,000 believe $6,000. $6,000 believe now 2.5. I got $6,000 2.5. 6,000 2.5 pretty high, pretty high. 6,000 2.5. 62.5 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 pretty high, pretty high. 6,000. Anybody want to give 62.5? Sold the bull 6,000. CAF. Bull number 2. And sell that bull. And right here, $7,000. $7,000. $7,000 is everybody is $7,000. $7,000 is $6,000. And $6,000. $6,000 now 2.5. I got 6,000 2.5. Pretty high. 6,005. 65 now 7.5. 67 high. $7,000 now 72.5. 72.5 pretty high. 7,000 2.5. 72.5 pretty high. 7,000 2.5. 7,000 2.5. 72 high 5. 7,500. 72.5 pretty high. 77 high. 75 7 high. 77 8. $8,000 be at 8 pretty 8. 77 high 8,000. $8,000. 77 high $8,000 pretty 8. 8,000. $8,000 pretty 8 pretty 8. 77 high want to give 8,000. Sold the bull 77.50. Dixie Ranch. 8. Line number 8 right here. And $6,000. Is $6,000. Is 6,000. $6,000 is 5,500. 5,500. $5,500 $5,500. $5,500 $5,500. $5,500 $5,000. Now 52.5. 5,000 2.5. 2.5 high. 55 now 7 high. 57 high. 55 7 high. 57 high pretty high 55 7 high. 57 high pretty high 55 7 high pretty high. 55 7 high pretty high. 5,500 Circle B. 5,500 Circle B. Circle B. What we got, Jeff? Number 3. Now these bulls didn't come this morning, so they hadn't had all night to get rested up. And right here, everybody, lot number 3. And everybody is 6,500. $6,500, everybody, $6,000. $6,000, everybody is 6,000. $6,000. 6,000 where? $6,000, everybody is 6,000. $6,000, everybody is 55. 55 7 high. 57 high. Now 6,000. Now 2 and a high. 65. I got 62 and a high. 5. 62 and a high. 5. 65, $100, 62 and a half, 5. Jeff, you're out. 65, 62 and a half, 5, 6,500, 62 and a half now, 5, sold the bull, 62.50. Robert Rodriguez. 11 will be my bull. And everybody, $6,000 is $6,000. Everybody is 6,000. $6,000. Everybody is 5,500. 5,500. Everybody now 7 high. 55 7 high. Everybody high. 55 57 high. I got 5,500. 57 high. Everybody high. 55 7 high. 55 now 7 high. Now $6,000. 57 high, $6,000, everybody is 6,000. 57 high now, see? $6,000, everybody is 6,000. 57 high now, 6,000. $6,000, everybody is 57 high, who be 6,000? $6,000, everybody is 57 high, who be 6,000? Sold the bull, 57.50. Aaron Ranch. 14 will be my next bull. And sell the bull right there. Everybody, sell him here. Everybody, 55. 5,500. Everybody, 7 high. 55, 57 high. Everybody high. 55, 7 high. 5,500, 57 high. Get right to him, boys. 5,500, 57 high. 55, 7 high, everybody high, 5,500, 57 high, 57 high, everybody high, 55, 7 high, 57.50, 55, 7 high, everybody high, 55, 7 high, 57 high, everybody high, 55, 7 high, everybody high, 55 and 7 high, 5,500, Circle B buys, Circle B. Lot 45. And 6,500. $6,500. $6,000. Is $6,000. Is now 2 and a half. I got 6,000. 2 and a half. 60, 2 and a half. Everybody high. 6,000. 2 and a half. 60, 2 and a half. Everybody high. 6,000. 2 and a half. 60, 2 and a half, everybody high, 6,000, 2 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, everybody high, 6,000, 2 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, everybody high, 6,000, 2 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, everybody high, sold the bull, $6,000. Weekly buys. $51 will be the bull. And he hit a good old long bull right there. $6,000 and $6,000. Everybody is 6,000. $6,000. Everybody is 6,000. $6,000. Everybody is 6,000. $6,000. Everybody is 6,000. $6,000. Everybody 5,500. 5,500. Everybody 55. Now 7 high. 55, 7 high. Everybody high. 55, 7 high. 57 high. Everybody high. 55, 7 high. 55, 7 high, everybody high. If I got 5,500, 57 high, everybody high. 55, 7 high. 57 high, everybody high. 55, 7 high. 57 high, everybody high. 55, 7 high, everybody high. 5,500. Chester Smith buys. Chester Smith, 5,500. Bull number 52. Lot 52 right here. And everybody, 6,500. $6,500 believe 65. $6,500 believe 6,000. $6,000 be well 5,500. Get right in 5,500 and Zebin High 55 Zebin High. I got 55 Zebin High 6,000 and 6,000 50 Zebin High 6,000 now 2 and a high 2 and a high and pretty high 62 and a high 6,000 2 and a high 60 2 and a high and pretty high and pretty high. I got 6 grand 2 and a high 60 2 and a high and pretty high and pretty high 6,000 2 and a high 60 2 and a high and pretty high and pretty high and pretty high and pretty $5. $6,500 beat bad, pretty bad. 62 and a high 5. $6,500 beat bad. Yes or no? Bad, pretty bad, pretty bad. 62 and a high won't 6,500. Sold the bull 62.50. Dixie. $46 will be next. All right, lot 46. And here we go. Here, 6,500. Long boy there, $6,500. Believe 65. 6,000. $6,000. 6,000. $6,000. Well, 55. 55. $5,500 now, Zebin High. 55 Zebin High now, $6,000. $6,000 $657 high, 6,000. $6,000 6,000. Give me 6,000. $6,000 57 high now. See $6,000. Give 6,000. Give me 5,800. $5,800 now 9. 58 9. 59 59 58 9. 59 59 5800 59. 59 yet again 9 59 58 9 9. So the bull, 5,800. MTS. 48 will be my bull. And 60,000. 60,000. That'd be a good figure. 60,000. Sometimes I wonder what's coming out of his mouth. And $6,000 is $6,000. 6,000. $6,000. 5,500. $5,500. 55 57 high. I got 55 7 high. 5,500. 57 high and pretty high and pretty high. 55 7 high. See $6,000 bid. $6,000 57 high. 6,000. $6,000 57 high. Now 6,000. $6,000 6,000. 57 high now. See $6,000 6,000. 5,750. 6,000. $6,000 6,000. Sold him 57.50. James Albritton. 49 will be coming to me. 49 will be coming to you. And $6,000. And bull number 49, 6,000. Take a look at him. $6,000 6,000. $6,000 $6,000 5,500. 5,500 now, Zebin High. I got 55, 57 high C. 6,000 2 and high. 62 and a high, and now high. 6,500 now, Zebin High. 67 high, and pretty high, and pretty high. 65 Zebin High. 67 high, and pretty high, and pretty high. 65 Zebin High. 67 high, and pretty high, and pretty high. 65 and Zebin High. 67 high. Sold the bull, 6,500. M4 was it? M4.
56.
Bull will be 56. Bull will be 56. And here we go. Here is $6,000. Yes, $6,000 is 6,000. $6,000 is $6,000 is $6,000. 6,000. $6,000, 55. 55, 7 high. 55, 7 high, pretty high, pretty high. 5,500, 57 high, pretty high, pretty high. Now 6,000. $6,000, pretty 57 high. $6,000 and $6,000, pretty 57 high. $6,000, pretty 6,000. I got 57 high. 6,000. $6,000, pretty 6,000. $6,000, pretty 6,000. 57 high. Want to give 6,000. Sold above 57.50. Green Glades. Lot 60 will be my bow. And lot 60 be right here. And $6,000. And $6,000, pretty 6,000. $6,000, pretty 6,000. $6,000, pretty 6,000. 5,500. $5,500, pretty 5,500. $5,500. $5,500, pretty 5,500. $5,500, pretty well, what you want to give? 5,000 and $5,000. $5,000 bill now 2.5. I got 5,000. 52.5. 5,000 2.5. Pretty high. 5,000. 52.5. 5,000 2.5. Now 5. $5,500, pretty 7 high. 55 7 high. 57 high and pretty high. 55 7 high. I got 5,500. 57 high and pretty high. 55 7 high. 57 high and pretty high. 55 and 7 high. 55 7 high. Sell above 5,500. JL Farms. 62. 62 will be the move. And sell about right here. And $6,500. $6,500, $6,000. Give me $6,000, 6,000. $6,000, 6,000. $6,000, 6,000. $6,000, 5,500. Get right there. $5,500, 5,500. $5,500, 5,500. $5,500, 5,500, 5,500. $5,500, $5,000 and 5,000. 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, $5,000, $5,000, what do you want to give for him? 5,000, $4,800, $4,800, 4,800, what's wrong? 48, 45, 4,500, $4,500, 4,500, 5,000, 4,500, 4,600, 45, 45, 46, now 7, 47, 47, 46, 7, $4,700, 46 and 7. I got 46, 7, 47, 47, 46 and 7, 4,700, 46 and 7, 47, 46, 4,700, 4,600. $64. $64 will be my bow. And right here, $6,000. $6,000, 6,000, $6,000, $6,000, 6,000, $6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 5,500, 5,500, $5,500, 5,000, $5,000. If $5,000, believe that, believe 5,000, $5,000, believe that, believe 5,000, $5,000, believe that, believe that, believe that, believe 4,800, $48, believe 48, 4,800, $4,800, believe 8, 4,800, 4,800. You say 48, Out 9, 48, 4900, 48, 9, 49, 49, 4800, 4900, 49, 49, 49, 48 and 9, 4900, 9, 49, 48, 49, 4800, 4900, 48 and 9. Send him your way, 4800. Green Glades. 6-6 will be my bull. And everybody at 5,500. $5,500 believe that, everybody 55, $5,500 believe that, everybody 55, $5,000. In $5,000 believe that, everybody 5,000. $5,000 believe that, everybody $5,000 believe that, everybody 5,000. $5,000 believe that, everybody 5,000. 4,800. $4,800 bid more, $4,800. $4,800 believe everybody 800. 4,800. $4,800 believe 8, 48, 48, 45, 4,500, $4,500 believe 4,500, $4,500 believe 4,500, 4,500 now see 45, 46. I got 45, 4,600, 45 Z, liberty Z, 45 Z, $4,600 believe 45, 46, 45 and 6. 4,500. Aaron. Bull number 41. Lot 41. And sell the bull right there, 5,500, 55, $5,500 believe that, believe 5,500, $5,500 believe that, believe 5,500, $5,500 believe that, believe 55, believe that, believe $5,000, in $5,000 believe that, believe 5,000, $5,000 believe that, believe $5,000 believe that, believe 5,000. $5,000 believe that, believe 5,000. $5,000 believe that, believe 47 high. 47 high, pretty high, pretty 4,800, 47 high, 48. I got 47 high, 4,800. $4,800 pretty 8, pretty 8. 47 high, 8. $4,800 8, pretty 8, pretty 8. 47 high, 8. $4,800 8, pretty 8. 47 high, 8. $4,800 pretty 8, pretty 8. 47 high, 8. 48 pretty 8, pretty 8. 47 high, 8, pretty 8, pretty 8. 4750 Butler Oaks. Lot 43. And sell 43 right here. In 5,500. $5,500 believe that, believe 55. $5,500 believe that, believe 5,500. $5,500 believe that, believe $5,000. Hey, $5,000 believe that, believe $5,000 believe that, believe 5,000. $5,000. And give $5,000 believe that, believe 5,000. 4,500. Now you can go. 45, believe that. 47 high. 45, 7 high. 45, 7 high. Pretty high, pretty high. I got 4,500. 47 high. 45, 7 high. Pretty high, pretty high. 45, 47 high. 45, 7 high. Pretty high, pretty high. 4,500. 47 high. 45, 7 high. Pretty high, pretty high. 45, 47 high. Now 5,000. Now 52 and a half. 5,000, 2 and a half. You got again, 52 and a half. I got 5,000, 52 and a half, and pretty high. Sold the bull, $5,000. Bicket. 18 will be the bull. $18 will be my bull right here. And everybody is $6,000. And $6,000 everybody is $6,000. $6,000 everybody is $6,000. 5,500. $5,500 everybody 5,500. 5,500 $5,000. And $5,000. $5,000 everybody $5,000 everybody 5,000. 5,000. $5,000 believe, believe, 5,000, $5,000 believe, believe, 5,000, $5,000 believe, believe, 5,000, 4,500, 45, believe, believe, 7 high. We got 45, 7 high, 45, 7 high, pretty high, 45, 7 high, 45, 7 high. For we all together, we got 45 up top. And 7 high, 45, 4,600. 45, 4,600 dollar believe, 45 Z, $4,600 believe, 45 Z, 40 Z, 7, 47 believe, 7, 48, 47, I got 47 now, 8, 48, 9, 49, 5, $5,000, $5,000 believe, 5,000. $5,000 now 1, 51, 52, 52, 51, 2, 5,200, $2 now 3, 53, 4, 54, 5, 4, $5,400, 4, 54 now 5, 5,500 now C, $5,600, 55 Z. I got 55 Z, he 56, he said no, 5,500. Something cattle. Beck cattle, thank you. 22 will be my lot. 22 will be the lot. And $6,000. And $6,000 be $6,000. Pretty good one. $6,000. $6,000 be 5,500. 55, 7 high. 55, 57 high. Pretty high. 55, 7 high. 5,500, 57 high, pretty high. I got 55, 7 high, 57 high. Now $6,000. $6,000 pretty 57 high. Now see, $6,000 pretty 57 high, 6,000. $6,000 pretty 6,000. 57 high now, $6,000 pretty 6,000. $6,000 pretty now 2 and a half. 60, 2 and a half, pretty high. 6,000, 2 and a half. 60, 2 and a half, pretty high. Now 5. 65, pretty 5, 62 and a half, 5, 65, $100, pretty 5, 62 and a half, pretty 5, 62 and a half, 6,500, sold a bull, 62.50, MTS. $29 will be my bull, 29 will be the bull. And $6,000. $6,000 believe 6,000. $6,000 believe 6,000 believe 6,000. Well, do $5,000 and get on the rock. 5,000 and 2 and a half. I got 5,000, 2 and a half, 50, 2 and a half, pretty high, 5,000, 2 and a half, 50, 2 and a half, pretty high, 5,000, 2 and a half, 52 and a half, pretty high, 5,000. You want one? 5,100, 5,000 now 1, $5,100 pretty one, 5,001, $5,100 pretty one, 5,001 pretty one, saleable $5,000 weekly, 5,000 weekly, brothers. $24. $6,500. $6,500 be $6,500. $6,500 be $55. $5,500 be it. $5,500 be 55. $5,500 be 5,500. $5,500 be $5,000. If $5,000 be 5,000. $5,000. Who be 5,000 now 1? 5,001. 51 pretty one. 5,001. $5,100 be 1. 5,001. $5,100 be 1. 5,000 now 1. $5,100 be 1. 5,001. $5,100 be 1. 5,001. 5,100. Solo 5,000 Dixie. 5,000 Dixie. 31 will be my bow. 31. And $5,500. $5,500 believe 55. $5,500 believe 55. $5,000. Yeah, 5,000, 2 and a half. I got 5,000 now, 2 and a half. 52 and a half. 5,000, 2.5, pretty high, 5,000, 2.5. I got 5,000 upstairs, 2.5, 5,100, 5,001, pretty one, 51, 5,001, $5,100, pretty one, 5,000, 5,100, sold a bull, $5,000. All the way up there. Kurt Rose. Thank you, Mr. Todd. 33 will be my bull. 33 will be the bull. And sell this one. It'll be 5,500. $5,500, $5,500, $5,000. And give me five. $5,000, $5,000. $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $4,500, 45, 46, 47, 47, 48, 4,800, 88, 47, 8. I got 47, 48, 4,800, 48, 88, 47, 8. $4,800, 88. I got 4,700, 48. You're out, sir. 48, 9, 4,900. Now $5,000. Back to you. 5,000. $5,000. I got 49. 5,000. $5,000. 5. 4,900. Butler Oaks. Only 7 left. Thank you. I was wondering that. Appreciate it. Boys, we about sold the bulls now. Lot number 9. Lot number 9. And pretty long stretch of kind of bull right here. 6,500. $6,500. 6,500. $6,500. $6,500. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. $6,000. 5,500. And now 555 now 7 high. 55, 7 high, 57 high, and pretty high. 55, 5,600. I got 5,500, 50C. $5,600 BDZ, 55Z. $5,600 BDZ, 55Z. $5,600 BDZ, 55Z. $5,600 BDZ, 55Z. Sold above 55. Circle B. Circle B. 71. $71 will be my bull. That must be a supplement bull. Yeah, he is. And sellable here, $6,500. $6,500, $6,500, $6,500, $6,000, $6,000, $6,000, $6,000, $6,000, $5,500, $5,500, $55, $5,500, $5,000, $5,000, now 2.5, $5,000, 2.5. 5,000, 2.5, pretty high, 5,000, 2.5, now 5, 55, now 7.5, 57.5, now $6,000, 57 high, $6,000, pretty easy, 57 high, 6,000, 6,000, I got 5,750, $6,000, pretty easy, sold the bull, 57.50. Jeff Flint with a Jeff Flint. Lot number 13 will be coming. And sellable right here, pretty $6,000. And $6,000, pretty easy, pretty $6,000. $6,000, pretty easy, pretty $6,000. $6,000, pretty easy, pretty $6,000. $6,000, pretty easy, pretty $5,500. $5,500, pretty 55 and $5,600. I got 55, 56, $5,600 BDZ, 55 and Z, $5,600 BDZ, 5,500, 5,600, $5,600 BDZ, 55 Z, $5,600 BDZ, 55, 5,600. Sold 55, Circle B buys. Number 5. Lot number 5. And sell him here. And $6,000. $6,000 BDZ, 6,000. $6,000 BDZ, 6,000. $6,000. $6,000 BDZ, 6,000. $6,000 BDZ, 5,500. $5,500 BDZ, 55, 55. $5,500 BDZ, 5,000. And 2.5. I got 5,000, 2.5, 52.5, pretty high. 5,000, 2.5, 52.5, 5, 5,500, 52.5, 5, pretty 5, 52, 5, 55, 52, 50, 55, $5,500 pretty 5, 52.5, 55, $5,500 pretty 5, 52.5, pretty 5, 52, 50, Circle B. Lot number 15 will be my bull. There's only 2 after him. And sell the bull right here. Number is $6,000. Is $6,000. Is 6,000. $6,000. Is $6,000. Is 5,500. $5,500. 55. $5,500. 5,500. $5,000. And 2.5. I got 5 now. 2.5. 5,000. 5,100. 5,001. 5,001. $5,100 BD1, 5,000 now 1. $5,100 BD1, gonna say them right to you, 5,000, Circle B buys. Circle B buys again, 26. Oh, excuse me, it's 25. He'll be 25. And right here, Liberty is $6,000. And $6,000 Liberty is 6,000. $6,000 Liberty is 5,500. 5,550. I got 55, 50, $600 Liberty is 55 Z. $5,600 Liberty is only 2. I won after him, I believe. 55, $5,600 Liberty is 55 Z. $5,600 Liberty is 55 Z. $5,600 Liberty is 55 6. 55 6. Sell him to you 5,500 weekly. Weekly Brothers. $26. He's only last because that's kind of the order he fell in, boys. And sell him $6,000. Yes, $6,000 is 6,000. $6,000 is 6,000. $6,000 is 6,000. $6,000 is 6,000. Well, $5,000 and 2 times 5,000. $5,000 5,000. Last bull today, 5,000 and $5,000 5,000. $5,000 $5,000 $5,000 $5,000 $5,000 $4,500 $4,500 down 47 high 45 Z. I got 45 4600 45 $600 45 6 7 46 7 47 7 46 and 7 4708 48 8 47 8 8 9 4,900 49 5,000 5,000 now 1 51 1 5,001 51 1 he said no 5,001 1 5,001 5,000 but a mosquito ranch. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys coming and spending the day with you. I wish you well with the Bulls. We look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you much. What we got? We got a Charlet bull sale next week, sir. Be there. Be here.